All right, everybody, we're doing an updated tour. The interior of the house is finally done. James came up and worked his butt off, and we're super appreciative. Okay, so as you come to our house, this is our answering machine. So if you get here and we're not here, sorry we missed you, leave a note, or you can try to call us. So that's our formal answering machine. So come on in. Okay, so since we did the last video when, I don't know, shortly after we moved in, not a lot has changed in this room. We heat our house with primarily the wood stove, and you see how small it is. It's a Vermont casting, and it's only, I think, 18 inch. We put 16-inch logs in it, so it's like 18 inches long and, I don't know, 15 inches wide. The two fans circulate the air all over. If it gets really cold, we do have these fans on, so one blows it down and one sucks it up. So yes,
so I said one set to suck and one set to blow.
Yes, one set to suck and one set to blow, and then
you just tripped over Granny.
I did, and it circulates the air really well for us in here. So it's 62 right now during the day. We like it this temperature, and yes, we've become the proverbial flannel wearing mountain women. And I have a little update here. I have a microphone now, so somebody mentioned we should get a microphone. Anyway, it feels weird, but it's good. Anyway, so our backup to the wood stove then is our pellet stove. This is a gravity-fed pellet stove made by U.S. Steel, I think it is. No fan required on it, so it's just radiant heat that comes off it, and no electric required for it because, as everybody pretty much knows, we're totally solar powered, and that would put a pretty big draw on it. Any kind of heating system and stuff like that puts a big draw on it. So it's just hopper fed, so pellets going here. And this is something we use primarily when we go to town because the wood stove will go out after 8 hours or so. Not out, but low. But this will keep running for 24 hours with the hopper filled. And for example, we went to town yesterday and got home and toasty warm in here. And then if that ever became an issue, we have a backup propane wall heater in the bedroom and a propane wall heater in the kitchen. So we're going to turn around and take a look at our new finished dining room. So excited. So excited. So excited.
Are you excited?
Oh my God, I'm excited. So we came up with the barn door design, and James manufactured them and made them here on site for us. We bought all the material and he made it. And I just absolutely love this. So you know, this is our pantry that was open for 2.5 years. I don't know. Get out of there. But so anyway, we kept all the shelves the way they are, but we put the barn doors on and absolutely love it. And then this one's going to end up being a coat closet and just kind of storage utility area. So this is still kind of a mess. We haven't gotten to this yet. So we had to put the rail up on the top, and then we bought a smaller shelf. So we're going to take this big shelf out. I don't know if you can see in there. Oh, look, I have lights. And then the small shelf is going to go here. The big shelf will come out. This is where we keep our potatoes and onions and other stored things. And we'll actually be able to hang up jackets because look at the back of our door right now. It is loaded down with jackets. So yeah, so we're excited about the doors. The floor turned out gorgeous. We matched it pretty well to the original flooring. Slight difference, but geez, who knows or who can tell, right?
I know, but like I looked at that other thing that was there for the unfinished stuff.
Oh my gosh, just
so long.
Piece of pressure treated wood with insulation jammed in it and all kinds of stuff. And so the lights are actually really cool. We have not had lights in here, so that just got hooked up as well. This ceiling, we thought when we purchased it, it was tin. It was like 2x4 sheets, and it's actually plastic.
It was, I think when you finally looked at it, was did it read like tin-like or something?
Yeah. So it's up there with just caulking or super kind of glue on the back, and then tacked in with nails. It was pretty easy to work with. Just getting the first ones lined up was difficult. So James and Katrina and I were in here standing and trying to get things wherever we wanted them. Like 2x4, basically, sheets. So getting them lined up was difficult, but it looks like tin. Nobody would know the difference, and it turned out awesome. The walls right now just have a spray texture on them because the rest of the house is painted that way. It's like a weird textured thing and then painted. So we still have work to do in here. Don't get me wrong. We still have staining to do and polyurethaning and painting and finishing, but finally it's done. And to have light in here is pretty cool too. I will mention as well, except for the purchase of this wood and the flooring, which we bought 2 years ago, everything else is kind of scraps that we've been hoarding and saving because I save everything, as everybody knows at this point. Sorry, I touched my microphone. So anyway, coming into the kitchen now. we have two final jobs in the interior of the house that will get done next year at some point, which is to change out this flooring to match the flooring in the rest of the house. I'm not sure why they stained it brown like this. Remember, this used to be a whole separate building. The kitchen was its own separate building. So the floor in here and the floor in the bunkhouse is dark for some reason. I don't know why they went that route, but we're going to rip this up, and it's twofold. Number one, to match the rest of the house. Number two, the water lines come in here. Show right here, Katrina. The water lines come in here, and then I believe they're probably just running right along a joist underneath the floor to the sink. And so that's a concern with freezing. We've never had an issue. Back up for 1 second. I'll just point out the heat tape that we have. So the water line runs from the generator shed under the hothouse, and then it turns and comes here. So we have a heat tape on it down in underneath. And there's also a trap door built right here, so we can access it, just like we have in the bathroom too, in case the heat tape ever needs to be replaced or whatever. So that'll stay on for months now. Both of them will. So anyway, and then the other thing, no, it's not. They say don't use it on solar, but you know, we have to. Then the other thing is, we think we're just going to get a new granite countertop, because this is just a what do you call this, laminate?
Yeah,
a laminate. And so that's the last two things in here: checking the water lines under here, replacing the floor, and a granite top. So come on inside, because this is the other thing that's exciting for me. So I don't know if anybody remembers from the other video, all of the pipes and stuff like that were just all exposed here, right? So we can get in here.
Don't bother my barn, please.
So come right here, this way. So all this was just exposed. This is where the original hot water heater used to be.
Yeah, so it was like a big hot water heater.
Regular big blue thing, yeah. So that was removed by us because it was not working, and we put in the on-demand, which is really efficient. But I didn't like all the pipes and everything just showing, so James built this box for us as well. And the wood, the wood is actually from the casing from the old hot water heater. I saved it. I stuck it out in the lean-to, and we saved it, and so that's been repurposed as well. And that way it matches, you know, the walls and everything in here. So you know, that's what happened out here. But it's a small kitchen, but it's functional for us. Just a regular range is all we needed. Nothing fancy. Regular refrigerator, nothing fancy, and it works for us.
If you notice, like, none of it has all that, like, electronic, I don't know, set to 325 3 days from now and run for 40.
No, we don't even have a timer. We had to buy like our own little timer. And again, we don't care. Like, this is just, it's perfect for us. Oh, and then there's the other heater for the kitchen, which does kick on occasionally. We are at that point of the year where we're starting to leave the cupboard doors open with our cute little drapes that Melissa made for us. And then that'll kick on, and we haven't had a water issue out here at all. All right, so let's move on. Okay, so we're picking back up again. Katrina's timer went off, and it cuts the video out, so sorry about that. So yeah, we just have to finish, you know, decide what we're doing here, if it's just going to be polyurethane or some kind of stain. I kind of like it lighter, so I'm thinking it's just going to be polyurethane. So moving on then.
Now she's going to just poly, but then we have to pick a, you know, satin finish, matte finish.
Right. All right, so coming into the bathroom, everything's the same in the bathroom. You remember we built this little cabinet here so that we can access and open that up if the temperature does get to like -30. The heat will go into there. And then there's a trap door under the floor here as well, with the heat tape down here next to Massey's little box. But come this way and shoot outside. So the hothouse that we built last year before winter, right now is at like 55. I didn't even look out front. It's probably like 30 right now out front. So this really holds the temperature and the heat well, which is great because it's actually heating the earth underneath as well, where the water lines run through. And nothing froze last year, and we got to -26, which is amazing. And then the only other change we think we're going to make is to put an actual insert, tub and shower insert in here. I know people really like clawfoot tubs, but I don't know. We had to jerry rig all this to make it work. So
well, clawfoot tubs look nice, but it's
not practical.
Not
yeah, it's high. That's like high to step up and into. There's a handle on the wall over there, and I'm going to tell you, I use it all the time. So, all right, coming into the bedroom. Bedroom's still the same We haven't figured out any kind of closet doors to do here. We just have the drapes up. I don't know what would work there. Hi, Mass. And then up top, the loft, we still have storage up there. At nighttime, we pretty much close the doors and have the fan on because we like sleeping in cooler weather. But yeah, so come this way. I don't know if you get too much of the sun glare.
The 2 windows here,
so you can't really see out the front window. The sun glare is pretty bad. Maybe if we go out front and she does that, we can take a look. But it's really cool to wake up and be able to see that right outside. But
the way the house is situated, the sun comes up like behind your head.
Yes.
Which is nice. It doesn't come up in your eyes.
Exactly. Yeah, so just go out front and see if maybe you can get a nice picture of the mountains out through the front, and we'll wrap this up.
I'm just going to see if I can go to the dining room here.
Okay.
There's stars. So, like when we eat in the dining room.
Beautiful view. Absolutely beautiful view. And so just, we'll clarify because, people, we're off grid, right? So we're off grid. We're 12 miles from town. There's no way to get electric out here.
So what does off grid mean though?
Off grid, that's what I was getting to. We're not near town, so we can't get power out here. There's no way to get power out here. So we have no power from the county, grid. The utility, the state, the government, the whatever.
Right.
We're totally self-sustained.
Right. So the government or nobody sends us power for our electric.
No, we are off the electrical grid.
Right.
Nothing.
Nobody sends us natural gas or propane or it's just
no. Right. So we have a TV, obviously. We have all the amenities. We flick on a light switch. The light switch comes on. Our refrigerator runs all the time. And we have 9 solar powers, an 8K inverter.
Solar panels.
We have 9 solar panels. We have an 8K inverter, and we have 8 batteries.
Yes. Did
I say something wrong?
You said 8 solar powers.
Okay. Anyway, so beautiful day today. We'll get charged to 100%. There have been days recently where it has not charged all the way up, and so in that case, our backup whole house generator, which is propane, kicks on. So we do get propane delivery once a year, and we have to schedule it in the summer during the time when the gate is unlocked and the weather is perfect. It's not too muddy and soft and whatever for a propane delivery to get out here. So we do rely on that. So that is one expense that we have. But we have our own well, so we don't have a water bill. We have our own septic, so we don't have any kind of septic bill. Obviously, we'll get that pumped out, I don't know, 8-10 years or something. It's just the 2 of us. But so when people talk about off grid, it just means you're not tied into power somewhere, electrical power from somebody supplying it to you. So there's a difference between off grid and homesteading, or it's combined in some cases. So we are off grid homesteaders. So we grow all of our own food. We hunt and fish. We can freeze and blanch all of our food. This is our 3rd winter. We're going into our 3rd winter. And I said to Patrina recently, I'm like, how do you feel? Like, do you think we could make it all winter up here now at this point, 6-8 months? And our agreement was, yes, we can. We are totally self-sufficient at this point.
It's weird though, like, we do a fall shopping trip, right, for things we think we need.
Some canned goods and things like that.
Well, so we like having a bagel now and then. So you
keep them in the freezer.
But you buy like cream cheese and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But like learning, if anybody watches this video and tries to figure out how much pasta they might eat in 6 months, how many cans of like green beans or something like that, like stuff you don't think about. How much toilet paper do you use a month?
Right.
To be able to talk about something you don't want to run out of. TP is one of those things you don't want to run out of.
True, but so you just said pasta, so you make our own pasta.
Yes.
We make our own spaghetti sauce. We have canned our green beans and frozen some. Carrots in storage, onions in storage, potatoes in storage that we grew.
Brussels sprouts in storage.
Brussels sprouts, peas. I still have my bucket of tomatoes. I could pull that out, but I won't right now. So we're totally self-sufficient. But Patrina talked about toilet paper and stuff like that. So I think for probably 2 years before we moved, I started tracking our usage of everything. How long does a thing of deodorant last? How long does a thing of toothpaste last? How long does a package of toilet paper last? Our
dog food,
our cat food, our dog food, the cat litter, all that stuff. We had to track and get all that information before coming out here because we couldn't come out here unprepared.
Right.
And I think that's the mistake that some people make, is thinking about living the glorified lifestyle. It's a hard lifestyle, but not being prepared. just
But then
not
even,
being prepared.
like by September, we had to make sure that we had stored enough dog food and cat food for 8 months, right?
For the whole winter. Yeah.
Right. So we in September, I wanted to know we could make it through May, not knowing what the roads were going to be like.
Exactly.
So it's just one bean that is already born with us. But I mean, what was that, like 4 bags of dog food for her?
And then we supplement with canned dog food as well, so she gets the moisture in her system because she's older at this point. So yeah, budgeting all those kinds of things and figuring out all of those kinds of things to be able to live this kind of lifestyle, it took years of work, and actually finding our property and where we wanted to be, and the house, and having the septic and the water, and installing the solar, like all of that was a lot of work. And I think so many people think, oh, I'm just leaving society and I'm going to go and I'm going to just try to make this work. You're setting yourself up for failure. You've got to really work at this. You've got to be prepared. And if you're not, you're in trouble. So anyway, talking, off grid and stuff like that. So we don't depend on anybody but ourselves for anything. The only one dependence we have, like I said, is on getting propane delivered once a year. So we have 2 tanks, an above ground 500-gallon tank and a below ground, which was here when we got here. We added the above ground because we didn't want to get in trouble. And if we hadn't done that, last year we had our solar situation where one of our batteries fried, and we blew through a lot of propane. If we hadn't had that second tank, we would have had a problem. We would have been in trouble. So it's those kinds of things, thinking about everything. Like for our lifestyle, we have a backup plan to the backup plan to the backup plan for everything that we do. The first year I was worried that the lateral lines for the septic weren't very deep enough. So we quickly dug and built an outhouse and got it erected, before winter the first year, just in case. We took every action possible to make sure that the water lines were protected the first year. And we had 2 or 3 issues where the water line in the wall in the bathroom froze. So we limped through that first winter and we corrected it for the second winter, and we had no issues at minus 26. Going into our third winter now, I think we're prepared. There's always going to be things. There's always going to be challenges, obstacles, things to address. We have animals to feed and take care of outside every day. We have our laying chickens. We processed 10 meat chickens this year. We have our rabbits. We have a lot of responsibility to live this lifestyle and be self-sustaining. It's hunting season now. We have bee tags, so we're going to go out and hunt, but our freezer's still pretty full. So we're either going to get probably one or the other, 1 deer or 1 elk. We do have a situation where we have some people in town that could use the meat. So if we get extra, it's going to town somehow so that we can help everybody in town, friends, because everybody in town has been absolutely wonderful to us. I know I've said it before. I can't say it enough, but everybody in the town of Deer Lodge, we love you. We thank you. We respect you. From the day we arrived here, you've been nothing but kind and supportive and helpful. And I know if anything ever happened to us up here on the mountain, either of us, you guys would be here in a flash, in a heartbeat. And you don't know what that means. I'm such a mush. Oh my God, I'm such a mush. You don't know what that means to have that support and that knowledge of knowing that you're there for us. And I hope you know that we're there for you too. So anyway, that's the update. So pan around and show this beautiful, beautiful dining room again.
I'm just so happy to have
Oh my gosh. I finally feel like I'm settled, like in my head. If things aren't in order, everybody knows I have a hard time with that. And I finally feel like we're in order, except for the painting and staining and stuff. But
I think
it's a long winter, so we have time to do that. But I don't have a hole in my wall anymore over there. We don't have just rough OSB flooring anymore. It's just gorgeous. So thank you, James, for coming up and doing all this hard work for us. We appreciate it. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. Do you have anything you want to add? Are we good?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't want to say anything. Have you cry again?
What were you going to say?
No, I wasn't going to say anything. I'm just making fun of you.
All right. Okay. From here on the homestead, Southwest Montana, in the middle of nowhere. We love you. We respect you. Happy holidays. And we'll talk to you soon. All right. Cheers, everybody.